Fantastic. So this is the European Voluntary Humanitarian Aid Core. So a bit of a mouthful. So it contributes then to the European Solidarity Corps programme overall. So the idea of the programme is that it contributes to the priorities of a more inclusive and digitally safe society, a greener Europe, a healthy recovery from COVID-19 with civically engaged young people. What does that mean? So what that means is that we're bringing young people to an issue or challenge or something within a community, so supported by organizations, and they are part of the activities of those organizations. They become part of it. They become part of the solution. So they're part of making that change, and they are learning all about themselves, and all of they're developing their skills and their competencies, but ultimately they're contributing to that impact. And that idea of solidarity is that they then develop their empathy, they then bring it back to their own community, and that creates a solidarity across the different countries and society and all the rest of it. So that's the idea of the program. You'll see there that under the program, then you have two centralized and decentralized actions. The decentralized actions are the actions that we in the national agency manage. So we look after the organizations that are applying for a quality label within the country. And to carry out their volunteering to either send or host, and then solidarity projects where young people can apply directly to the NA as well. And so we manage them. And then the centralized actions, then they are managed by the EACA. And under those centralized actions, then you have the volunteering in high priority areas and the humanitarian aid related solidarity activities. Oh my God, that's a mouthful. But anyway, that's what we're here today to talk about. And you'll see there that those organizations that want to participate in those actions have to have a quality label. And those quality labels then, depending on the action that you're going to do, you apply then to the national agency for the decentralized, and for this action, for the centralized actions, you'd apply for the quality label to the EACA. So what are the activities then? These activities then develop solidarity between member states and countries affected by man-made or natural disasters. So that idea of young people going, experiencing the issues, being part of the change, all that kind of stuff, and then developing this solidarity between the countries. They're based on the fundamental principles of neutrality, humanity, independence, impartiality, as well as with the do no harm principle. And there's more information as well on that as well in the program guide as well, so we can send you that the link to that. They're aimed at supporting humanitarian aid operations, and then to ensure the safety of participants, volunteering under this strand may only take place in countries where humanitarian aid activities and operations take place, and where there is no ongoing international or non-international armed conflicts. So what are the objectives? So the objectives are to facilitate the transition from humanitarian response to a long-term sustainable and inclusive development. It contributes to the strengthening of the capacity and resilience of vulnerable or disaster-affected communities. It reinforces the disaster preparedness and disaster risk reduction. It's to link relief, rehabilitation and development, and to ensure a high level of safety and security for volunteers. So you'll see there the idea of this strand obviously can carry many risks. So it's important that there's a lot of importance put on the safety and security of the volunteers. So like I said, organizations who want to apply for this need a quality label. It's through the single entry point. All organizations must hold one, and the quality label ensures that organizations and partners comply with the standards and requirements of the Solidarity Corps. So this quality label is going to be, hopefully Mariam is going to talk about this a little bit more, so I won't go into too much, but it's about having quality standards and that you can trust then that your organization or your partner has the same quality standards. So what are the activities then? The activities then are individual volunteering. So individual volunteering activities take place cross-border for a duration of 2 to 12 months. So they're in a country different from the residence of the volunteer. And then you can also have volunteering teams, and they're 5 to 40 participants. They take place cross-border, so they're different from the country of residence of the participants. They're for a duration of 2 weeks and 2 months, and they are for a specific, clearly defined activity. So they're there for a specific project that is, although it's short, it's quite impactful. There's also complementary activities. So these are activities that are relevant to the program, or to the project, sorry, and it's to add value and to strengthen the impact of the project. The aim of it is also to raise the awareness of the value of volunteering for young people in the communities, and to recognise the skills and competences gained by the volunteers as well. So they could be job shadowing and different courses and stuff like that. And you can bring in experts as well if you need them to complement what you're doing in terms of training and stuff like that. So and you would expect to see complementary activities in these applications. So setting up a project, then you have a minimum of 3 organizations from at least 2 different countries. And one of those, the host country does not have is not a legal entity of the organizations. They include 1 or more volunteering activities with at least 15 participants per project. So you'd expect to see groups of young people participating in the activities. They're combined in a flexible manner, and it depends on the objectives of the project and the identified needs. So these are needs-based projects. So you're identifying an unmet need. You're also taking into account the needs of the volunteers as well as the participating organizations. Those projects then are flexible then in how they're carried out. So for participants then, participants would register with the Solidarity Corps portal. This offers a meeting place for people and organizations to meet. So I call this the Tinder of the European Solidarity Corps, because what happens is young people would register, they talk about what they're interested in, when they're available, when they'd like to go, and then that matches them with the organization through this database. And then you recruit those young people to your organizations because they've shown their commitment, they've shown their motivation, they've shown what they're interested in and what they can bring. The process should be fair and transparent, and then also organizations should demonstrate how they reached out to young people with fewer opportunities. So it's important that those young people who are unable to fully access the opportunity, they're given extra support, and it's a collective approach. So like sending the host and the coordinating organizations would be involved in developing ways to reach out to those young people with fewer opportunities.